Hi everyone, it's Guy, and for those of you who haven't met me yet, I am the founder of Zealous. And the reason I'm speaking with you today is because we are celebrating our 10th year anniversary, and we wanted to thank you for being a part of our journey. Why did I start Zealous? That's a nice, easy question, although my memory might be going since it's been 10 years since I did that. At its inception, Zealous was really supposed to bring the creative sector together and help creators find people and collaborate across different areas like film, music, performance. And actually, over time, what we discovered was artists told us that they wanted links to opportunities, they wanted to have their work showcased, make some money from their craft. So essentially, we pivoted to try and make managing opportunities as simple as possible for organizations, in the hope that they would create more for the creative sector. That's a really hard question. I tend to wake up in the morning with a smile on my face. I can't wait to go to work. So I guess a day that sticks out perhaps was when there was a live TV interview for the Emerge Awards, and we managed to bring one of the performance winners, Lanre Malaolu, on air with us. And I also got to wear one of the winners' jackets for the Fashion Awards, a gentleman called James Reeves. And it was a really fetching jacket. It had sequins. It made me look really good. But actually, the best part of it was being able to share their stories with a live audience and give them that little bit of exposure. And it certainly sticks out. I really missed that jacket. Oh, so because you asked me about the best day on the job, you felt that you needed to ask me about my worst day. That one's actually a lot easier. Maybe not the worst day, but perhaps the most challenging day that we faced. I was actually at a conference. I was on stage, and one of our email servers went a little bit berserk. It was very early days, and it sent 200,000 emails to our network, and we were only a couple of thousand at the time. So people were just being spammed by this email server, and no one pulled me off stage. So it was happening over a period of time. Luckily for us, the network was very kind. We apologized profusely, which obviously we should do. And everything turned out for the best, but it was definitely a long 48 hours. Thanks for the easy question there. You can't choose just one medium. I created something that was celebrating the whole of the creative industries for a specific reason. It's because there isn't really one medium that should stick out. They all depend on one another. So I think my answer is going to be a total cop-out, which is I can't. Hells no. We had to change. We learned so much from the network. We started with a community. We thought that we needed to bring people together so that they could collaborate across different sectors. Turned out that what they wanted really was access to opportunities, money, exhibitions, literally anything that would help them in their craft and subsist from it was what was most important to them. So essentially we changed what we were focusing on, and we built a system that would allow organizations to simplify the way that they run open calls and manage opportunities. We do so because that we hope that they save time, and then they can create more opportunities for the sector, which is this lovely cycle that will make the industry a lot better as a whole. I think in terms of being an arts professional, it's not changed so much. I think you probably have access to more technology, and there's a lot more to learn, and things are moving all the time. But I think that's always been the case. Obviously, this year there's been an additional issue in that we've all been locked in and we can't do what we usually do. But I think in terms of being a creative professional, just being agile like you've always been is going to be key in order to be able to perform your craft. I mean, obviously these are really important. There's a third one that's missing, and that's effort. You can actually do anything you put your mind to as long as you have two of the three. So if If you don't have any money, then it's going to take time and effort. If you have lots of money, it might take less time, but you'll still need some effort. I think that still holds true. Obviously, agility is really important, but that's not something that you absolutely must have. Agility is just your ability to cope with all these changes. So obviously COVID hit us, understanding where the opportunities lie when things change, seeing technology change, finding new ways of marketing your work. Agility is probably one of the best skill sets that you can have to support your creativity. And maybe also not being too fearful and just confident in what you're doing. But time, money, and effort, that's universal, and it's always going to be the case. So, I mean, we've had Emerge, we've had Zealous X. It's been a while since we've run any of those. Each one of them which was trying to fix a problem that the other had. What we had with Zealous X is it was wonderful. It was an exhibition. We got lots of people to come through the space. We shared the artist works. We had industry talks. It was huge. It was a lot of fun. The problem is it discriminated against people that were outside of London. So we created Emerge as a response to that, which was anyone from anywhere in the UK could submit, and there was no obligation for them to bring anything to London. If I was to create something new, I'd love to have something in between, or perhaps have the resources to be able to afford people out of London to bring their work and for us to pay for it. Ultimately, just bringing people together in one place and celebrating their work and sharing ideas and knowledge around the creative industries would be a wonderful thing to do. Well, if we disregard COVID, which is really high up in people's minds at the moment, and so should it be, I think there's a couple of things. I think our education is lacking a trick in terms of our creativity. I think we focus a lot on maths and sciences and English, which are great and important, but I think that we're missing a trick with making sure that the arts are more prominent in our syllabus. If we were to look at London specifically, I think just dropping the property prices to make sure that artists can live here. London is a great city. London should be creative, but people can't afford to be here anymore. So just making sure that we could afford it would be a step in the right direction. It's been an honor serving you all, whether you are submitting to opportunities or you joined us for our Emerge Awards or our Zealous X exhibition. It's been an absolute honor, and we cannot wait to serve you for another 10 years. We have some exciting plans this year, so please check out what's happening underneath this video, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. And again, on the behalf of the team and myself, we thank you very much for being a part of this, and see you soon.